Good morning. What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. Good morning. Lots of new fun trivia to share with you today about Savannah. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Hope you guys are well. If you've never followed me before, my name's Corey. I'm a local here in Savannah, Georgia. We go on morning walks 7 days a week. I'm down over 90 pounds. I bring you guys along with me for fun. So if you've never followed me before, tap that follow button. You never know what we're going to see, who we're going to see, what we're going to experience. It's always a new adventure. Good morning. So let's start off right here. Let's get going. I'm going to share some new trivia with you guys today in some of the most popular squares of Savannah. Right now we're in Lafayette Square, which is the home of my favorite coffee place, Maribel's, as well as the Basilica of St. John's. Thanks for the follow. Right here, we always talk about this house, which, yes, if you've ever seen the movie Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, this home, the Hamilton Turner house, does make an appearance. But let's talk about this house. This is Flannery O'Connor. She was a author who published tons of short stories. You probably read them in high school. Well, Flannery O'Connor's childhood home was right here. Flannery O'Connor actually spent time in this square teaching chickens how to walk backwards. So there's some trivia you can use. If you have ever seen Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, this indeed is a house that is featured in the background. But this house is better known that one of the pieces of trivia that has been passed down from multiple generations is that Walt Disney sat in the square, sketched it, and used a lot of the sketches for the building of the Ride Haunted Mansion, which is super cool. Again, good morning if you've never met. My name's Corey. I'm a local here in Savannah. I go on morning walks 7 days a week. Yesterday we were at Tybee Island. So if you've never subscribed to my YouTube channel, I upload our daily walks there in their entirety, unedited, so you can see all the things we do. We have come across movie sets. We have come across actors and actresses. We really have come across a whole bunch. So good morning. We're strolling around today. So let's talk about this house right here. This is another interesting house that doesn't get a ton of attention. So next door, their next door neighbor is the Lowe family. Juliet Gordon Lowe, Girl Scouts, Andrew Lowe. This is their house. It is a museum. You can visit, but that's not what's interesting. Notice the location of the house. The side of the road it's on, it should be turned facing us, except it's turned in the same direction as the Lowe house. This house was the assistant to Mr. Lowe, his partner, his associate, whatever you want to call him, was who lived there. Doesn't get a lot of attention. It's one of the few homes in Savannah that have this style architecture, which if you've ever been to Charleston, the houses there have that type architecture. So that belonged to his associate, Andrew Lowe's associate. The way it was structured and built is very interesting because in all theories, it should have been turned facing us, but it was built at an opposite angle, which is kind of cool. This is the Andrew Lowe house. So one of our most famous people of Savannah is Juliet Gordon Lowe. If you've ever bought a Girl Scout cookie, ate a Girl Scout cookie, or know a Girl Scout, she is a popular person from here. You can go in and visit from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. It is a tour. There is a fee. I'm not sure what the fee is. It varies from house to house. Good morning, everyone. Hope you guys are well. Yes, it is kind of chilly though this morning, but it's supposed to be in the 80s. Pamela, thanks for the follow. Good morning. Again, if we haven't met, welcome to a day in my life. Left education in December 2020, well over 300 pounds. And I started getting moving. And about 6 months ago, brought you guys along with me for the first time. We do go live 7 mornings a week. And we talk history, we talk culture, we talk celebrities, we talk filming. You just really never know what we're going to do. Well, I will walk around, show you some things, show you some new trivia that you may not know. What's interesting is that my walks are not scripted. I'm usually live 2.5 hours each morning, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter. I don't have a script. I just walk, and as I'm walking, because the main goal in my morning walks is to lose weight. Hello. So that is my main priority, is losing weight. In the process, I bring you guys along with me. Thanks for the Pumpkins Disney vids. So if you've never hit that follow button before, hit that follow button. Monday, we're heading to Disney. So we'll be at Disney World next week. Yes, I'll be streaming. If you've never followed, thanks for the follow, Disney vids and users. But my main priority each and every morning is walking and losing weight. And I just happen to bring you guys along with me. I will tell you one thing. Oh, it's the bells. I know, isn't that pretty? Thanks for the follow, Vintage. So 8:30 is what time it is. That usually signified the start of the day. Nope, we're not at Forsyth Park. We're coming up on Madison Square. Let's talk about some cool trivia that you may not know about the square. First of all, you have Sergeant William Jasper statue in the center. He is the only statue in Savannah that he was not a general when he was killed. So that was kind of unusual, but he was deemed a war hero. If you see his hand, it's covering his battle wound. Thanks for the follows, guys. My name's Corey, local, lived here 38 of my 44 years of life. Let's just talk for a second. My lives are a little different than what you may see. I don't fluff stories. So if we walk by a house and you're like, I heard there's a ghost, blah, 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 and it's not true, I'm going to tell you those stories. We talk the true side of Savannah on our morning walks. So when this home right here was built for $93,000, it's called the Green Meldrum House now. When it was built for $93,000, it was the most expensive house in all of Savannah. This house right here, which gets a lot of attention as being the most haunted house of all of Savannah, was actually one of the first houses. It's called the Old Sorrel Weed House. It was one of the first homes in all of Savannah to get that National Historical Landmark posting. Thanks, Homestead, for the pumpkin. So this has a lot of punch. Now, here's what's really cool, and people would have no idea. So back in the 1800s, because this square was built in the mid 1800s, this beautiful kind of garden area between this beautiful church and this home was actually a road. Traffic ran through this. This was just a street. And then this church bought this home and they created and closed off this entire area. The first was, that was the Hamilton Turner House in Lafayette Square that we just saw. We were just over there. I'll show you again when we come back around, when we stop for tea. Then you've got, so that's kind of cool. Yep, it's the Hamilton Turner home. Again, yeah, they were scared of that. Again, if you haven't met me, my name's Corey, local to Savannah. Hit that follow button. I go live 7 mornings a week, 8:30 to 10:30. Then in the evening, we do what's called back porch chats, where we talk about all kind of things. And that is from about 5:30ish to 7. So if you've never followed, hit that follow button. Come along for some fun. So yeah, this area right here used to be a road where traffic would go through and it wasn't closed off. And then this house, who all kind of famous people stayed at, such as Sherman, and a lot of history took place here. This is the home that Sherman sat at and wrote the letter at the mayor's desk to Lincoln to say, hey, I'm giving you Savannah as a Christmas present. Me too. I didn't see that. Thanks for the follows, guys. Also, I now have the subscription button, which is a cool feature. Gives you awesome emojis. So yeah, mayor was here, the mayor during that time period. This was the most expensive house at $93,000 built in Savannah during that time period. The house was built in that, about 1850, so around there. So that's kind of cool. And yeah, Sherman sat there, wrote his letter to Lincoln to say, hey, Merry Christmas, you get Savannah. If you ever come to Savannah and you're interested in getting a local's perspective that has lived here her entire life, I do tours where I will walk you around and I'll tell you trivia that you may not know. This is Savannah, Georgia KM. Thanks for the follow. So I do go live 7 days a week. Bring you guys along with me. My name's Corey. I'm a former teacher who left education in December 2020 at my most unhealthiest mental, emotional, and physical weight. What's up, Clayton? And here we are, 90 pounds lighter, moving along 7 days a week. We come across movie sets. We come across all kinds of things. So this bench may not be anything important to y'all, but that is where I found the infamous book. I am sure they are still on Tybee, Amy. It looked like they had set up shop there for a few days. And I will say this. They, where they're filming on Tybee is not really super accessible. Yep. Oh, thanks, Clay. I had a great time with you and your mom, showing you guys around and showing you some trinkets of Savannah. The mystery remains about the book. Look at this. How pretty. So yeah, I'm also, if you're like, hey, I would love to go to this location, wherever it might be in Savannah. Maybe your father grew up here. Maybe your grandparents grew up here. Maybe your grandparents are buried at Bonaventure. Anything like that. I'm starting virtual tours. They will be starting in a couple of weeks. You fill out a form. You tell me where you want me to go. It's a private tour that we go on. A lot of you have asked about tea places. The Gaffin is one of those popular tea places. Kind of show you the menu. So the cost currently is tip based. It is the longest tour you will find anywhere in Savannah. The virtual tours I will be setting a fee for. I have not decided. It depends on the distance, all of that. Yeah, so I have a pen story. The book was Amy Schumer's like autobiography, but that wasn't what was interesting about the book. It was the note in the book that was interesting. Yeah, those are going to be a lot of fun. All right, we're heading down to Monterey Square. Monterey Square is where the movie Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil were filmed. But I'm going to give y'all some new stories. Thanks for the roses. Yeah, they're going to be fun. So my tours are always private, and they will always be private. I think that gives you the best opportunity to get to know the person. We don't do the frills. I tell you straight up truths of Savannah. So you've got the Eliza Thomas house. Have you looked at that one, Alyssa? So Eliza Thomas house is one of those, and it is on Jones Street. Jones Street? What? Yep, I did all kind of tours. So I've done a few tours with TikTok friends that come to town, and I show them around. Yesterday we were on Tybee Island. This is Jones Street, voted one of the most beautiful streets in all of America. Yeah, it was built in 1847. Look up the Eliza, Eliza Thomas house. Thanks, Clay. Oh, that's cool. Good morning. Thanks for the follows. So we're just strolling along. So in the mornings, this is what we do. We go on a morning walk. They're never scripted. I just kind of walk and tell y'all things as we're on walks. Good morning, Andy. Happy birthday to your son. So those type homes do actual tours that you can sign up there. So anytime you go inside one of these historical homes, that kind of comes out of your domain of what you can show from a tour perspective, because they have a fee and they have a staff that tells you all the things. Good morning. Now I could show you other things like Laurel Grove Cemetery, all of that where she's buried, and the outskirts, but our reign ends when you enter a house. Yes, I do too. Thanks, Jerry, for the follow. All right, so we're coming up on Monterey Square. So let's talk about old Jim Williams. If you have read the book or seen the movie, Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, it is what put Savannah on the map. But I'm going to tell you some stories today that you may not know about. So who in here has seen the movie or read the book? I think so, Motormouth. Who here has seen the book or read the movie, or seen the movie or read the book, Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil? Anybody? You can email me at adayinthelifeofcorey@gmail.com. Feel free to email me. If you want to see previous walks in their entirety, shoot me. Go join my YouTube. I load those daily walks there. Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about some things about this house that you may not know. They're kind of more of a secret. So Jim Williams was this who's who of Savannah. So he was one of those people that He struck it rich when he was pretty young. And he came and purchased a ton of Savannah homes, this being one of them. Now, originally the home, you do know this, originally the home was built for the Mercer family, aka, good morning y'all, Johnny Mercer. Mercer's never lived here. However, that's not the interesting story. Mr. Williams was a bit eccentric. I mean, if you hear his story and look at his past, he was pretty crazy. Good morning, thanks for the follows. Hold on, catching up with some follows and likes and stuff. Good morning, good morning. If you've never followed me before, my name's Corey. I'm a local here, lived here 38 of my 44 years of life. Grew up here. I now go on morning walks and I take you guys along with me. So if you've never followed before, we're always on a different journey. We never know where we're going to go, what we're going to see, what we're going to do. It's always an adventure. All right. Thanks for the pumpkins. Appreciate it. All right, so let's chatter. Well, that's what's interesting about it, Kika. So the story itself the book is based off of a true story. So it was in the movie is based off of a true story. Here's the thing, the movie does not show the whole story. So let me give you a brief overview of the book or the movie. If you haven't seen them, then we'll talk about trivia that you may not know. So Mr. Williams lived here. He had an assistant. His name was Danny Hansford. Danny was a young man who used to race his cars through these squares. He's a bit of a troublemaker. Now we're talking late 70s, early 80s. That's the time period. He's a bit of a troublemaker. He was Mr. Williams' assistant, and it was rumored, and the thing about the South, if a rumor starts about you and you don't, it's hard pressed to get rid of the rumor. So it was said that he and Mr. Williams had a relationship, and during that time period that was deemed, well, thanks, I appreciate it, you don't have to come in my life. It was deemed kind of socially unacceptable to be in a relationship with the same gender. So the two got in a fight one evening. I love trolls. Time out. Do y'all hear her? Here she comes. It's Mafia Lady. I'll finish the story in a minute. There she is. All right. All right, so, yesterday she was, or day before she was singing. Yeah, she was singing day before. She's been very happy. I know, right? Like, live your best life. That's what I have to say. Okay, so anyway, so one evening they got into a fight. Per Mr. Williams, Danny lunged at him, and so in self-defense, Mr. Williams took a gun and shot him. That's where the story turns interesting. And when you watch the movie, it shows that Mr. Williams only went to trial one time. He actually went to trial 4 times. First 2 trials, there was a mistrial after the fact. He was found guilty, but then various reasons, there were mistrials. 3rd time, the mistrial happened in the process. 4th time, and here's what's interesting, when he was found guilty, the very interesting thing was, ironically, when it went to the Supreme Court to get him off, because they didn't accept the guilty verdict, he ironically knew the judge that ran the Supreme Court. There's a lot of stories with that in the Deep South. Who you knew got you far. So anyway, his 4th and final time he was acquitted. He was never found innocent though. Came back here in the same exact spot, an area that he had killed the young man. He died of a heart condition. Death report says pneumonia, but others report it was a heart condition. So was it revenge? Who knows? but it's an interesting story. But that's not the whole story. So Mr. Williams was a very eccentric man. So much so that he was almost obsessed with the idea that people were obsessed with him. Does that make sense? So like he would throw these elaborate parties, and in these elaborate parties, he would put cards in his jacket pocket. And the cards would read, yeah. Does it state it? I haven't seen the movie in years. It just doesn't show it. Interesting. Yeah. Well, that's where the real interesting side is, the 4 trials. Anyway, so he used to throw these elaborate parties. And in his jacket pocket, he would have envelopes that would say in or out. And if he didn't like you, say you walked in and you were talking to somebody that he wanted to talk to, he would walk up to you and in front of everybody hand you these cards. Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. And they would say out or in. If they were out, you had to leave the party immediately. So a bit eccentric. One time they were filming a movie in this square back in the 70s, and he did not want this house in the movie. He didn't want the outside of this house in the movie at all. So he decided to keep the film crews from actually filming his house. He hung a Nazi flag. Because he figured, if I hang this flag, nobody will film my home. But it gets crazier. What Mr. Williams forgot, hanging that flag here to keep the media and the news crews from filming him, is directly across the street from his home stands the Jewish synagogue. Yep. So, almost narcissistic, almost borderline crazy. Yep. So he flew that flag. Then he had to come out and make this grand apology because directly across the street from him is the Jewish temple. And there are tons more stories about Mr. Williams. Now, something I heard just this week. So for the longest time, his sister lived upstairs and took over the home. You can tour the bottom floor. I've heard just recently that now his niece lives there. Hello, hello. Yeah, it's very interesting. And if you research, so like one of the other houses he used to live in, which every ghost tour and every tour go by, the owners of the house, they look, those stories, the ghost stories are not true. But what is true is he was obsessed with the idea that he was being followed by ghosts. Google his name. Look, Google, don't use Wikipedia. There are tons of historical newspaper articles that you can look up and they will tell you the whole story. But one of the houses he owned at one point, he was just convinced 100% that there were ghosts following him and stalking him. And so he had the bishop at that time come and do an exorcism on the house. But there's stories, multiple stories that Jim Williams was a big eccentric. Supposedly now, apparently it's changed hands and his niece is now owning that top floor. Jim Williams. Just look up Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. He's actually not even buried in Savannah. Danny Hansford is. Danny Hansford is buried over at Bonaventure in a small little grave. I have a story on my TikTok. Small little grave. Doesn't get a lot of attention. You know, after the fact, after Mr. Williams died, after the trial was long over, the judge sat on there and said, was Mr. Williams guilty? Yes, he was guilty with a capital G. But Danny was a trouble with a capital T and deserved to die. So it was a very interesting story. Read the book if you haven't. Yeah, well now apparently the niece has completely taken over everything about that home. You can tour the bottom floor. However, the rumor is, and part of me wants to do the tour just to see if it is indeed true. The rumor is that all they talk about in the tour is the beautiful antiques that are there, the house, that sort of thing. What they do not talk about is his past, his story. Yeah, the house is beautiful. I'm not knocking the tour, but supposedly if you ask about his dramatic past or you ask about the ghost, they will ask you to leave. They will not talk about that. They only talk about the antiques, the history, and they know a lot about it. Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil is the name of the movie and the book. So yeah, I'm sure it's a fantastic tour. I think his sister is still there, but she is older in age, so I think that's why the niece has now taken over. Because within living there, you're taking over a lot of stuff. So yeah, the tour is great. They know a lot about the house. I mean, the antiques, the beauty of it is beautiful. Oh, that's awesome, Goat, that he actually did. Because a lot of the older ones will not. They do talk about that, but that's it. Okay. Yeah, I have never done the tour there. Yeah, they're actually factual. Good. Okay, that's good to know, Mystic. Like I said, that's one of those stories that get passed down all the time. And it's not as much mentioning the book as it is mentioning the whole drama. Danny, yes, Danny was in his early 20s. Here's the thing. A lot of our historical homes actually have tours you can pay for and go in. I say this is where they won't let me. Like, here's the thing. I could do the tour and know what questions to ask to see, but they would not let me stream it. Yep, Danny Hansford was 21, 22 when he passed away. It's a sad story. People say this house is haunted. Oh, that's why. Yeah, your tour guide. Sorry. Danny's buried over at Bonaventure Cemetery. I have a video. I'll have to pin it up top so you can see it. It's a very small, very small grave. It's not one of the standing up graves. So unless you know where it is when you're walking, you would have no idea. But yeah, Mr. Williams got into quite some trouble by putting that flag up. And there are tons. Who? Yeah, if you do not follow my YouTube, I think I have it posted. If not, I will post it over there on YouTube. But yeah, so right there is the Jewish temple. At one point, Mr. Williams actually owned the Kessler house. At that time, it was the Armstrong house. He did own it for a very short time. Oh, there's a light on in there today. Interesting. This is not the Armstrong house, but there's a light on over there. Interesting. Yep. He is, which is connected to Bonaventure. I will pin the video and I'll put it on. Good morning. I will put it on my YouTube and I'll pin it to the top of when we visited him. The one on TikTok does. I'll just have to upload it. Yep, that's Mercer did have it built. They just never lived there. Oh, let's see what else is in this. So this used to be an antique home. They've closed. And there's some cool things when you look in here. That's where we actually just walked by a few minutes ago. It's in Madison Square. So again, if we have not met, my name's Corey. I'm a local here in Savannah. I go on a walk. My priority is losing weight. That is my first and foremost priority. I don't take requests. Like, I go on a walk, and as we're walking, I show you different things. We are usually live about 2 to 2.5 hours. Oh, the lights are on. 2 to 2.5 hours a day in the morning. Oh, I think they finally finished. Or no, they're still painting. Oh, they're doing yard work today. This is the Armstrong Kessler House, or Kessler Armstrong House, is owned by Richard Kessler. Hotel Brilliance. There's drama going on. The yardmen are fighting, so that's kind of funny. That's why I kept walking. No, of course I wasn't. Okay, so this is the Armstrong Kessler House. Used to be a junior college. Hey. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I was like, let's keep walking. So Richard Kessler owns this now. He is a hotel entrepreneur worth a whole lot of money. This is true. Yep, I've said that before, Lolly. First Tuesday of each month, you can go tour City Hall. There's one other person that does content. Oh, good morning. The gate is open. That's unusual. Gets exciting when the gate's open. It's never open.
I know.
I'm like,
well, we're planting today. That's why it's open.
Gosh, it is such a... I would love for them. I'm a local, and I would love for him one day to do like an open... Like, oh, it's so pretty in here.
Well, there's lots of different things like the garden thing. They come here.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I've got to look that because I'm just so...
In the spring, it's the Savannah garden. They come here. Lots of people.
I got to start looking more because I'm always just so enthralled by the beauty of this home.
Yeah.
It's just so pretty.
It is. It really is.
Oh, you're so lucky.
Yeah, I know. The governor was here last night.
Is that what? So I saw they had all this stuff set up. They had tables and stuff, and I was like, "Is somebody getting married? Is somebody?"
Yeah.
And then I heard he was in town, and I was like, I wonder if that's what it was.
They wouldn't let us plant because he was coming Tuesday night. So I guess security had to sweep it. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
We didn't get to come on Tuesday morning to plant and spent that Tuesday night and Wednesday.
Well, y'all do an amazing job, like with the greenery and everything. It's always just perfection.
Well, that's what they...
I'm always like this because I'm always like, what have they planted? What have they done different?
Yeah, well, we're about to put flowers up on everything.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Yeah, I don't want to do the pool. I'm afraid I'll fall in.
I know. I'm always like, I love the pool.
I hope the guys are agile enough to do it.
Put one of them at it. Oh,
Yeah.
so pretty.
Yeah, I'm not agile enough. I know I'll fall in.
No, I understand. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, that was cool. Yeah, typically the gate is not open. So to actually be able to see it without the gate, I didn't want to kind of cross a boundary and get her in trouble. But, yeah, that was pretty cool, wasn't it? Because the gate's never open. So y'all remember the other day when we walked by here and they were setting up all these tables? Richard Kessler. That's the Kessler house. But y'all remember the other day when we were walking by and they were setting up all these tables and everything, and I was like, what in the world is going on? And we thought maybe it wasn't. Apparently the governor of Georgia was there for a reception yesterday. We didn't come down yesterday. We were at Tybee. Yeah, they do a fantastic job. Okay, so we got to remember in the spring, y'all, if they do the garden tours again, to go. That's about 2 hours from me. You never know. I mean, maybe one day. Richard Kessler owns half the hotels in Savannah. He is an entrepreneur, hotel genius. He just sold the mansion at Forsyth to Perry Lane Hotel for $14.5 million. He is an entrepreneur first, and then owns, if you walk Savannah and you see a ton of the hotels have Kessler on it. That was exciting though, to have the gate open.
This is how you want to keep the map, right?
Okay.
So you want to.
But yeah, so there is one other streamer. She apparently is only going live now once a month. But she focuses on the paranormal. She was live last night. But we just have 2 different streams. 2 different type lives. We're about to. No, I was excited because the gate was open. Y'all, the gate is never open. Spanish moss is amazing. It's not actually moss. It's a cousin of the pineapples. See, I don't think the guy standing there now would have been as nice as the lady. So yeah, we just do 2 different type streams. I stream 7 days a week. And my ultimate goal is walking and losing weight. And then we just happen to talk different things. Yeah. I was trying not to like be weird and like step kind of in the backyard. So I was trying to show y'all as much as possible. Yeah. And I don't have a problem. Like, yeah, watch whoever. We just both have different perspectives. Temperature right now is in the 60s. There is a light breeze. I know, I was kind of like lingering. Well, I think there were other people starting to kind of crowd around me, I think maybe had it been just me looking, she may have said, go ahead and look. I never want to overstep boundaries. Y'all know my ethics are a big piece of all of this. Like, I never want to overstep my boundaries of what I'm allowed to do and not allowed. That's fun. I wonder if it was him. Was it an older man, Cindy? Thanks. If you've never followed me before, hit that follow button. I hear lots of people say that. They're like, I'm moving to Savannah. Well, this morning has been a busy morning already. And it's just 9:05. Yeah, Forsyth Park is amazing. Yep, hold on. I'm waiting for all these people to move. And then I'm going to give you like a perfect picture. I just got to wait for all these people to move. Savannah is expensive. Oh yeah, there seems to be a number of those times happening. Like when we saw Natalie Portman filming. I mean, it just happened to be a right place at a right time, right? I know. Just like, I'm gonna come up to the side and give you a cool angle. I always say if you want the prettiest time to visit, my opinion is late March, April. Because it's not Hodge yet. All these bushes are azalea bushes. So the azaleas, that was the only time we ever saw her. Oh, thank you, Patty. That means a lot. All these bushes are in full bloom. It is absolutely stunning during that time. That means a lot. I take this very seriously, especially on my walks, that I don't tell y'all wrong information. I never want to tell you wrong information. I never want to tell you made up information. So when we're talking, I tell you sometimes, hey, this is what is said. It's not 100% certain. Kind of give you a whole view. At the end of the day, first and foremost, I'm not the tour guide. That's not my ultimate ultimate thing. This is Savannah, Georgia. Oh, thank you guys. That really does mean a lot. It can be at times discouraging or frustrating when you go on TikTok and you see someone doing opening little grab bag packs and they have 1,000 followers watching them, and you're like, what is happening? I know a lot of people say that. I should get a BOGO card. So for every person that moves here, I get a free peach tea. That would be fun. Oh yeah, definitely. I'll have to find some old pictures. But again, if we have not met, hello, my name is Corey. I'm a local here in Savannah. Grew up here, lived here 38 of my 44 years of life. Let me introduce myself. Hello. So anyway, I grew up here, lived here 38 of my 44 years of life, and started walking. Left education December 2020, well over 300 pounds, and I started going for walks. And about 6 months ago, I started bringing you guys along with me. I started TikTok as a funny because one, my daughter had it, so I wanted to see what she was doing. And two, I did it because I kept hearing so many misconceptions about Savannah that tours were telling people. One being the Forrest Gump bench. So that's why my lives started. And then in return, you guys come on every day and we walk around Savannah. And yeah, we go to the same place sometimes. My path is always different. We go to the same place sometimes, but at the end of the day, we always learn something new. And that's always my goal. I can never predict or know what's going to happen on those lives. And, I always have thanks for the crown. I hope that each live you guys learned something new. I'm so, I got a little discouraged a few months back because, or not even a few months, a few weeks back, everybody was getting that little star next to their name, a subscription star. And I was like, what? And I was like, people with 1,000 followers. I was like, what is happening? Well, if you come and you need somebody to show you around, I'm doing it based off a tip based right now. You never know what bush will be behind, all the things. If you want more information about me, go click my name up top. And I've got a YouTube where I upload the lives every day. I've got an Instagram. I have all the things. All right, let's keep moving along. Tap that screen. Thanks for all the follows. Thanks, Wendy, for the follow and all for the follow. Oh, Mystic, I'm so glad. Yeah, a lot of y'all watch and y'all make notes of things like, ooh, I want to go see this, or ooh, I want to go see that. So one of the things Savannah is very well known for is the fact of we have so much that films here. This is Forsyth Park. So one of the funny things is that we do have a ton that films here. Tons. And so we have our own film commission now because we have movies filming here all the time, series, you name it. 44. I am 44 years old. Give you this view. This is pretty. This is the fountain that they turn green. It is a catalog ordered fountain. What I mean is it was ordered out of catalog. The same fountain exists in Paris, New York. They say there's one in New York that looks just like it. So I got to research that. Thanks for the follow, Koosh. So since I started walking, I'm down 44. I'm down over 90 pounds. I am 44. No problem. Thanks for the follows. Yeah, if you've never followed, I do go live 7 mornings a week. Every morning, 8:30 to 10:30. Next week, we're going to be at Disney. So that's going to be a fun adventure. Thanks for the pumpkin. Got more to go. So when I left teaching, I was well over 300 pounds. My mental health was shot. Physical health was shot. Emotional health. Thanks for the pumpkins. Thank you. And that's ultimately, that is what this journey is. Yes, we have a blast on these lives. We really never know what we're going to experience. But at the end of the day, it's about losing weight. Thank you. Yep, I'll be live at Disney. I did middle school. So there is a restaurant here in the center of Forsyth Park called Collins Quarters. There are 2 of them. Oh, you're sweet, Alyssa. Look, I always tell people, if they're interested in donating to these lives, I have my link in my link tree up on my profile. It's always very generous. Yeah, I just can't get over what a fantastic job, now knowing the stories of this building right here, that the architects did. So where we're walking up right now, that is 700 Drayton, and it's a restaurant, but it used to be a mansion and a mortuary. Well, Mr. Kessler, whose home we just saw, purchased land next door to it and built the mansion at Forsyth. It is a hotel, beautiful hotel at that, and added on. All that used to stand was this home, and then the hotel was built. And it is amazing because the hotel looks like...
Wow.
Good morning. The hotel looks like it's always been there. Yeah, I hit 14,000 earlier on Sunday when I did that all-day marathon live. I was live for like 8 hours that day. Running toward 15,000 now, hoping to hit it by Disney. So here's the house right here. And then right next door is the hotel. And the architects did just an amazing job with the brick, with it resembling next door. Hello, hello. This is a hotel. People always ask me, where can I stay? So you've got multiple hotels. You've got Airbnbs. This is one of those hotels. This is called the Mansion at Forsyth. Yeah, we did a live at River Street just the other day. Go to Plant Riverside. So I have a top 5 recommendations of things to do in Savannah. One is to go down to Plant Riverside on River Street. Check that out. It's just beautiful. 2 is to go and walk Bull Street from City Hall up to Forsyth Park. You're going to see our most popular squares. 3 is, if you have a car, go drive around at Bonaventure Cemetery. It is beautiful. 4 is, if you have a car, go spend a day at Tybee. And 5 is to go over to the Basilica of St. John's in Lafayette Square. Walk in there and look around. It's stunning. And then go across to Maribel's and have you a peach waffle and peach tea. Thank you, Andy. Yeah. We kept getting closer and closer and closer. And I was like, we have to hit 14,000. We will not hit 15,000 today. What? Yeah, peach waffle's great. Oh, awesome. Yep, SCAD, Savannah College of Art and Design, is a big part of the revitalization of Savannah. So like I said, Mr. Kessler owned the hotel. He just sold it recently for $14.5 million. He sold it to Perry Lane Hotel. They're about to go through a big old renovation. They're going to redo the pool area. They're going to add balconies to some of the rooms. They do tours of the homes, especially during the holidays, some of the homes. Now, some of the old historical homes, you can tour anytime. So you can pay. Each one has a certain rate, and you can pay and go in. Georgia is known for its peaches. Right now we have the Savannah SCAD or SCAD Savannah Film Festival going on. So we've had some pretty big celebrities down here for that, from Ron Howard to Miles Teller. So it's been kind of fun. Machine Gun Kelly is supposed to be here today. They say he's very noticeable because he's super tall. So you would recognize him in a crowd. Yep. So, yeah, today's the day I think he's supposed to be here in Savannah. Absolutely. So we are a very walkable town. Also, if you're up on the main street and you want to go down to River Street, there is an elevator between City Hall and the Hyatt Hotel that you can take down to River Street. Good morning. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, if you've never followed me before, hit that follow button. But yeah, so they're supposed to be doing a whole reno. It'll be cool to see, but this was the original home, 700 Drayton. That is what used to be the original home. It's now a restaurant, but at one point it served as a mortuary, and when you go in it, it definitely has that vibe of old mortuary. Thanks for the follows, guys. Yeah, when we're walking, if there's something that I'm like isn't real common knowledge but is helpful, especially when it comes to accessibility, I will definitely show you. But the elevator is one of those kind of kept secrets, but you can ride it. Not from where I'm at, but it is in City Market. Belford's is in City Market. This is Savannah, Georgia. This is oak trees. So, Lady & Sons is in City Market. It's about a mile, not even a mile from where we're at. I'll show you 2 quick trips, ways to, if you are not a walker and you're like, hey, I don't want to do a lot of walking, but I don't want to spend a lot of money. This is Drayton Street. So if you're like, hey, I don't want to pay for a tour, which is totally fine, I'm going to show you ways that you can get from one side of Savannah, one side of the historic district to the other, free of charge. Vinny Van Gogh's is in City Market as well. And we're going to come up on one of those things that people don't know. Yeah, there's some antiques here. Not as much as it used to be. Oh, yeah. No, I totally get that. I believe it is still here. I'm not big on the party scene. That's not my thing, or like the bars here. You will not see me live at night unless I'm with a group in historic Savannah for a couple of reasons. Not that it's unsafe, but I just don't think it's a smart judgment as a woman to be out in areas by yourself. All right, so this is one of those things that people don't know about. It's called the free shuttle. It's a purple and green shuttle. We have the free ferry on River Street that you can ride, and we also have the free shuttle. This is the hours. This is one of the pickup stops, and it takes you from Forsyth Park. There are 6 stops, and 6 stops on the way back up. So literally, they pretty much stop in every square. It is not a tour, but it is a way to get from one side of Savannah to the other if you do not want to walk. It is free. It is the purple and green buses. I don't know when the next time one comes along. Honestly, we will have to one day. If you're staying at a hotel, you can go on DOT free shuttle. It may give you some ideas of what time they arrive. If you're staying at one of the hotels should have a list. Hello, Dee. Oldest tree in Savannah, the Candler Oak, took root in 1700. Not entirely. So the old saying is that the squares with no moss are the most haunted. To some degree, There are certain squares that the original hangings took place that there's less moss. But moss is almost, the Spanish moss is not Spanish moss. It's not from Spain. It's a descendant of the pineapple. And it's almost like a fungus that is attached to the trees, but it doesn't harm the trees. Forrest Gump actually sat at a made-up bus stop that they had to build for the filming in Chippewa Square. So it wasn't a real bus stop. They made it for the movie because it was on the wrong side of the road that they filmed. They do not have a schedule like they do with the boats. So that I'm sure you can look it up. Yep, it was a fake bus stop. Just like the fake bench that is now in the History Museum. But all the tours tell you, hey, the bench sits in the Savannah History Museum. It doesn't. For real, it does not. Waiting to cross the street. So we do have the Basilica of St. John's. Yeah. So you're going to notice a common color too throughout Savannah. So you see this bluish color. That door has blue. Those blinds are blue. Those shutters are blue. You're going to see kind of a shade of blue on a lot of the old homes. That was the color that was said to get rid of the evil spirits. And so to this day, you're going to see some of the homes with this powdery blue coloring. Absolutely. So when you see this blue, that was back in those days. That was why. It was to eve off the evil spirits. Paint blue, yep. Very good. Are you a local? I mean, who really knows that it's haint blue? I mean, really? I say it's powder blue. Haint. Yeah, if you believe in that, sure. I'm not artistic, so certain colors I'm like, it's blue. Good morning. Paint blue. So if you've never followed me before, hit that follow button. Come along for our live journey. We're in Savannah, Georgia. Well, you know what? I laugh all the time because they're like, paint blue. And I'm like, were they really saying, that's what I wonder. Is it a real color? Or were they saying it ain't blue? Right? Huh. Those are the cool, funny stories that I love to think about. Huh, interesting. Oh, so interesting enough, someone got a picture of Juliana Moore, who's filming here in Savannah right now with Natalie Portman. Y'all, her hair's not red. It's more blonde now. Yeah, city does a great job cleaning the squares and all the things. Ugh. So they got this van that usually moves the crews around for filming. No, she didn't. No, she was before I was. The one last night, Spanish Salt Wave Spanish Moss, I think is her name. She started doing all of this journey. She focuses on the paranormal more than anything. Yep, she's been doing this longer than I have, guys. And guess what? City's big enough for more than one. Yep, She started doing the ghost stories during COVID and got quite the following. I don't focus on ghost stories. That's not my vibe. I will tell you the ghost stories that aren't true that everybody tells you. Those I will definitely tell you. Am I in y'all's way? I can totally move. Okay, cool. So, like this house right here. If you have ever been on a ghost tour, I bet they took you by this house. Who knows about 432 Abercorn? I would love to hear the story you're told on the ghost tours. Not what I've told you guys. Who knows about 432 Abercorn? If you've ever been on a ghost tour, they come by all the time. Thanks. Tell me the story you're told. No, I want to hear what story you've been told about the ghost of this house. Yep. So totally untrue. The whole thing is untrue. Yeah, no. As I say, the world's big enough for both of us. Our storylines are completely different. Our journeys are completely different. This is 432 Abercorn. It is owned. There's a family that owns this home. Yep. So all of that is untrue. And you can do the research. So the tours take you by here and they tell you the story about how this man lived here with his 2 daughters. To the right of this home is the Massey School. The Massey School was the first school for African American children. And in this square, the kids used to have recess. And the story goes as follows, and this is what they tell you on your tours, is that the gentleman found out that his daughters, hey, you can do both.
It was weird.
Those things are like,
Oh, they're like
$10 for like.
You probably did a tour at the Pink House, which is a restaurant. So anyway, so they, the story is that the gentleman found out that his daughter would come out and play at recess with the colored children, and he did not like that because he said they were of noble status. And so he is said to have tied up his daughter, and she sat at that top window and had to watch tied up these children playing, and in return actually passed away from heat exhaustion due to the summer heat. When you look up those stories and then in return the dad was filled with such angst and destroyed so much, he literally passed away as well, unalived himself. And that none of that's true. If you research the story of that family and you look it up, both daughters actually... Are you serious, Christy? Please tell me you're not serious. So I will go across the street in just a minute and show you. But so anyway, the story is the real story. If you research the family, go look up the true story of 432 Abercorn. The dad lived a long, healthy life. Both daughters lived a long, healthy life. Both got married, had families. It's not true. The story that they tell you on those ghost tours, this story is not a true one. And there are many more like that. So much so, let me walk across the street. The fact that a tour guide told you that they could not come across the street because they would get sick is absolutely the most redunculous thing I have ever heard in my entire life. Hold on, there's a man walking. Someone let him cross. It's a beautiful home. I would love to connect with the owners. Architecture. Could be. They are very scripted. These tours are super scripted, and half of the stories they tell them aren't true. And it could have been. And there have been tour guides that have come out. Wait, let me flip the camera. Look. Oh, I'm sick. I can't handle it. No. So there have been tour guides. I mean, really. So there have actually been tour guides here in Savannah that after they quit their job, they do kind of a tell-all, and they tell the stories that they had to tell. And could be. I know a lot of them. I love their backyard, though. It's so pretty. But that's the Massey house. Some people use the story that when they get near the houses that are haunted, they feel weight on their shoulders. It is. These trolleys are full. Just timing. It ended up being timing and history and when people were there. Letting me cross, thank you. Anywhere from because we've talked about it. We go from time to time and we look up houses. And I mean, you're going anywhere from 1.5 million to 7.5 down here. Yeah, and here's the thing. Please do not mistaken what I'm saying, that it's not a real thing. My frustration, and you each have to believe your own story. I wonder if they're going to be filming in the square. But what I do try to bring an awareness to, and what I do try to bring attention to, is first and foremost these stories they tell you, especially on these ghost tours. Research, it's entertainment first and foremost. It is research. And research and see what's true and what's not. The sorrel weed house. Yes, that's the first house that had running water. Jen and Ben. So Ben Affleck is not a stranger to Savannah. He filmed Forces of Nature here back in the early 90s and fell in love with the city. And actually the house in the movie that the wedding took place on, that big white antebellum house, he actually ended up purchasing. So he bought that house, and I think Jen by default just came here. Now, here's a couple things to say about the wedding. They did get married here. And also, he's good friends with Stratton Leopold, who owns Leopold's Ice Cream. Mr. Stratton has produced many movies that Ben has been in. And so, look, I don't dispute what I'm telling you is the story. I tell you accurate truth. From there, you can decide if it's ghostly or not. Yeah, I just answered that user. So, no Mercers lived there because by the time it was finished, they had moved on. It just wasn't a time for them to live there. And those stories grow and grow. I'm not disputing people's claims. What I'm just simply saying is when I go, right, that's what I just said. But what I am saying is that literally there are a lot of things that are used to make money here in Savannah. Oh, that's cool. I have a picture with him. That's awesome. I just tell you, yep, they did get married in Savannah at his house. They were all down here during the filming. We did not. So let me just say this. She had a Spanish moss bouquet. Those aren't real. Spanish moss bouquets, we don't do that in the South. You don't touch Spanish moss. You will get red bugs and chiggers. Bye, sissy. Yeah, I just state factual information. You can make that decision. I am never going to take what your experience was in certain said houses and tell you absolutely not. What I will say is do your research on the stories they're telling you. Yeah, don't touch the moss. I thought the same thing. Unless they bought it at like Michael's or Hobby Lobby. Well, his house is not on the beaten path, so it would have been very easy to keep people away from it. If you've seen pictures, it's a lot of flyovers. This is Savannah, Georgia. You went to St. Vincent's. Yep. Oh, good. Yeah, don't play with them. They have red bugs or chiggers. You're going to get little bug bites that are going to itch a whole lot. So I'm sitting here right now because there's this camera crew guy that's doing some footage. And they've got the black SUV. And I'm wondering if this is where... So they just released the need for extras in a whole bunch of new areas. And they're filming May December, that movie with Natalie Portman, Julianne Moore, and Charles Melton. They're filming all the way till November 18th or 19th. So that's interesting to hear that. Then, that's not Savannah. That's Atlanta. We did not film. Oh, no. No, 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 no. And whoever told you that, shame on them. Oh, that just makes me literally want to cry. No. That's awesome. I hope you had a great experience. But I mean, there are numerous ways to get around Savannah. You can ride trolleys and they make multiple stops. You can go on a Segway. You can ride bikes. You can go on walking tours. You can do any of those things. Here's what I have to say. Do your research. Do your research. Do your research. Especially when it comes to the ghost tours. If you're going on a ghost tour for entertainment purposes, then by all means, you're going to be entertained. That's the part of the pieces. Stay off the segways. A lot of the people, here's another piece of it. A lot of the people employed by our trolley companies now and our tourist companies are not locals. So sometimes, well, most of the times, they're very scripted. No ice cream today. So, yeah, St. Patrick's Day is insane. It's fun. I'll be down here in the thick of it that day. I do, flying. Yep, so you can click on my Linktree link up top. A day in the life of Corey. I do a couple of different options. Sorry, there's a piece of hair in my face right now that is driving me bonkers. And then we're going to keep walking. So I do tours. I am just kind of starting that up. It is right now, I have a couple of different options. I do virtual tours. So if you want to book me to see a specific thing, specific places, you can do that. And then I also do walking tours of the top 10 things in Savannah. I talk you through the real stories that come out of there, not the made up scripted stories. Yeah, no, you can treat it. You can put it in all kind of things, but to be told just to take it, like, and pick it up and start rubbing yourself in it, no. And most people homestead are not going to go through the process to get it to that level. It's about in the high 60s today. Oh, that's fun. Hello. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, if you're out and see me, say hello. I don't care. And if you've never followed me, hit that follow button. We do go live 7 days a week from 8:30 to 10:30. Oh, this is cool decorations. From here, River Street is about, counting streets, about 6 blocks up. Oh, that's cool. Look, I am not disputing our tourist industry. And that's not what I'm doing. Oh, that's cool. I'm simply telling you true, like that's what I do. I tell you the true stories. And if that offends you, or if you're like want to argue like, oh no, this is true, this is I ain't got time for that. So SCAD is not one specific place. SCAD is spread out all through Savannah. You too. But yeah, so SCAD is not, Savannah College of Art and Design is not located on one area of Savannah. It is literally, that's why they run buses to take kids from point A to point B. Because it is, what did we say, Jules? 100 square miles an area? Yeah, so if you're looking at SCAD, or your child is looking at SCAD, know that they're going to be catching a trolley, especially from freshman dorms, a bus to get to most of their classes each day. That's awesome. I have a lot of SCAD parents that come into these lives all the time, and they're like during the hurricane, they were checking in on their kids. I have their kids come up to me all the time, and they're like, hey, Miss Corey, my mom or so-and-so watch you. It's kind of fun. Had somebody the other day ask about a tea house, and I was referencing, Trey had a question. Where? I don't see Trey. Oh, no. Trey, no. It's actually, there is no line. It actually doesn't look that crowded. Oh, that's cool, Lux. Congratulations. Oh, it was fine. We got wind, a little bit of rain. So this is Yopon's Tea House. It's right by Clary's, which is a good breakfast place. Crime is essential in what typical cities our size would have. It's not awful. Here's real estate. So you can kind of get some ideas. Oh, I bet Mitch. It is absolutely beautiful here. It's a beautiful morning, too. Yep. Most beautiful street. We walked through it as we were coming when we started our walk. We just walked past it again. Clary's is always crowded. You know, Thanksgiving is solid. Here's the thing. Check where you're going to eat, because a lot of places close for Thanksgiving. So you got to make sure you've got reservations somewhere to go eat. So we're back to Lafayette Square. There's the Hamilton Turner house. That was the first house to have real electricity. Oh, crazy pet friendly. So Tybee Island does not allow dogs on the beach, but in historic Savannah, it is very pet friendly. In my life, yes, I've been to Hinesville. I'm sure they are. I just haven't seen them yet. We're about to go get some breakfast. I may after breakfast. So again, my name is Corey. I'm a local to Savannah. If you've never followed me, good morning. I have lived here 38 of my 44 years of life. I do go live 7 mornings a week from 8:30 to about 10:30 each morning. And I bring you guys along with me. If you have never followed me, hit that follow page. Also, if you go on my Linktree link up top, I have a YouTube channel called A Day in the Life of Corey that I post our daily walks each and every day in their entirety unedited, so you can see all the fun. See, I love Tybee. I would choose Tybee over Hilton Head or anywhere else. So I just think it's your perception of where you like. Here's the thing about Tybee Island. It is a beach town. It is not an entertainment town. So if your goal is not the beach the whole trip, then I always say stay in historic Savannah and drive to Tybee for a day. Like, it is not like a Destin or a Panama Beach where there's things to do on Tybee. Tybee is specifically a beach town. Like, see, I'm not a fan of Jekyll Island. So I think it's each person. That's why I always tell people, you know, come here. Things I don't like, you may love, and vice versa. I just show my opinion and share my opinion. Yeah, I always tell people, when people ask me where to stay, what to do, I always tell them, do not stay on Tybee unless your goal is the vast majority of the day. Your days here is to be at the beach. Because Tybee has one way in and one way out. And if there's a wreck on 80, you're stuck. These are oak trees. There are a lot of differences in the two, but Charleston is one of our city places. People will come here with a lot of comparisons if you've never lived here. There's a lot of comparisons to Charleston that people will address and bring up. And you will hear it every day. Especially Savannah, if you're going to be in the tourist industry here, understand that people are going to compare it to Charleston every day. Jekyll to me is a touristy destination that I just don't like the vibe there. So like I said, there is a lot more green space in Savannah than there is. Thanks, Kat. I try to be. Let's go get some breakfast. I think I'm going to get a... I was going to say, each person has their own opinion of where, what, who, all the things. So if you've never followed me before, hit that follow button. This is one of my top 5 recommendations. Is to come over here to Maribel's. You would not know Maribel's. It looks like a house. There's this little sign right here. They have the amazing waffles. One, Mitch. Tybee Island is one long beach about 3 miles in length. Well, we'll see when I come back out. I'm a little earlier than normal. I'll get a breakfast Sammy today. Hey! How are y'all?
I'm doing well.
Good. Can I do the breakfast Sammy? Yes. And then can I have iced peach tea? Yes. Extra sweet?
Anything else?
That's it.
Awesome.
Quiet today.
That's
A
what
good-
someone else said those exact same
Well, there's
words
nobody
to us,
outside,
like,
and I'm like, what's going on?
all right.
Cool.
You know the drill.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, yeah, and I just, like I said, I'm just sharing. Oh, excuse me. That one just about took me out, y'all. Let me go get this table before it gets taken. You know it. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Well, I think I heard my name. Let me get you guys set up. You know I leave y'all every day for like 2 seconds to go get my drink. Hopefully a horse will come by in the process. Now this is way better than McDonald's. Yeah, these trolleys are pretty hopping. Yeah, and here's the thing. So there is one long beach here in Savannah. It is. We've got green space, architecture, but everybody comes here comparing it to Charleston because Charleston and New Orleans are our sister towns. Bye, Trey. Yep, that's the Basilica of St. John's. We will hop in there after we eat. It's not super easy to see the whole thing because it's super tall. Let me leave y'all, go get my order, or go get my drink, and I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. No, this is Savannah, Georgia. If you've never followed me before, hello. My name's Corey. I'm a local here. Have lived here 38 of my 44 years of life. I go live 7 mornings a week from 8:30 to 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, and I bring you guys along with me. If you've never followed me before, hit that follow button. Here comes a horse tour. I'm very intrigued at the people that are so illegally parked. I have no idea. Hello, hello. Yep, there's one of them. That driver has that same script every day. But if you, bye Wendy, if you've never followed me before, hit that follow button. Next week we'll be at Disney. I will be live every morning just like normal. I do back porch chats as well from 8:30 to, or from 5:30ish to 10 each day. I do back porch chats where we're at my house and we talk all kind of things. We've gained a ton of new friends today. We're at 14.2 thousand followers, running toward 15,000 all over again, which is huge because my goal originally for this Disney trip was to be 100 pounds down and 10,000 followers, and we hit 10,000 a while ago. That is the Basilica of St. John's in America. We're going to go in there in just a few minutes as soon as I eat breakfast. So if you have never followed me before, tap that follow button, tap that screen, all the fun things. Oh yeah, it's going to be a jam-packed couple of days, but that's a great idea. Are they in concert tomorrow, Kinley? Here? I'm sorry, what?
Corey?
Oh, I'll be right back, guys. All right, kids, I'm back. What happened? Nope. I do this every day. We always stop for breakfast at one of the local restaurants so we can give back to the community. And I leave you guys sitting on the table. All right, let me show you what I got. Hi again. So we got this lovely peach tea. It is amazing. And we have this delicious breakfast Sammy. Super yummy. I'm very intrigued though, let me say this, at all the people parked on the side road. There's not a service going on, and on a weekday you are not allowed to park on the yellow line and leave your car. And if the little guards come along, they're gonna give you a ticket. You almost got hit by a truck, for real? How'd I miss that? I'm gonna have to go back and watch the live now to see what happened. Did y'all really? No, the wife got out with that dog.
Catherine?
Oh, Lord. That would have been awful. We're going to go in the Basilica next. Where'd they go? Because I don't see them anywhere. Stop. I would have died. My car just zoomed in. That's funny, y'all. This is called Maribel's. It's my favorite place. You have to check it out. We're okay, guys, I promise. You too, cat. By Alyssa. Yep. I did get the crunchy sandwich. Let's talk about ASMR. Yep, we talked about that a little while ago, user. So they say the story is the trees with less moss have more hauntings. You can take that for what it's worth. It's got egg, cheese, bacon, and like this jam type thing. It's really yummy.
Catherine?
Yeah, if you've never followed me before, hit that follow button. Like, our adventure is always something new. We're gonna head in there as soon as I'm done eating.
Mary?
Probably October right now. Bye, Tina. You can get it unsweet. Just a welcome to anybody that's new. This is a community for all people, and we encourage one another. If you are ugly or hateful or disrespectful, you will get muted. And if it's rude enough, you may get blocked. Awesome. Well, definitely tune in because I'm live every day. This is Savannah, Georgia. Yep. No, nobody bought the rope. Y'all better hold on and fend for yourself. Oh, that's awesome, Lee. Some tours do. They have the little headphones. Good morning or afternoon, lady. You're so funny. Oh, you're sweet. What's up, Score? How you doing? That's awesome. I'm glad I can bring some entertainment to your day.
Rose.
That's not necessarily true, user. Yeah, that's questionable, Mitch. As a former special education teacher, that's not 100% accurate. I can tell you that for a fact, because patients who died of malaria during that time period, they were wrapped in cloth and burned alive, and their ashes are all in Reynolds Square. Thanks, user. Oh, I'm sorry, Vicky. Well, I've loaded it on my YouTube channel, so if you've not subscribed to my YouTube, definitely go over there and do that. It's there. I just about do.
Scott.
No, I did not. I said they were burned alive. Well, their remains were. They had. What do you mean? What happened? They were burned up, so some were dead. Malaria usually, they did not have long life expectancies. Yeah. Special education's a whole different beast, Mitch. Film festival's still going on, Ocean. They do, Maddie. There is one that is. There's a white one, black one, white one. They're very bold to park there, though, and leave their car. But I'll have tickets, too, just FYI. Oh, no. This was like $11. Well, I mean, Ty Pennington lives here. Paula Dean. It depends. I mean, like, they're parked in this super illegal spot. So theirs is probably more than if your parking meter ran out. All right, let's rock and roll. It is fantastic. They're going to vary Southern based on company. Yeah, Film Festival is still going on till the 29th. I'm going to throw all this away and then we're going to go in. Oh, you're okay. Don't worry. If you want more information about who I am, what I do, all the things, if you go click on my link up top by my name, there's another link you can click on. It's going to give you access to all the things. So, St. John the Baptist originally was dedicated here in 1876. Then in 1898, a fire destroyed a bunch of it. And they had to rebuild it, and they did quickly within about a year because it reopened in 1900, and then another restoration took place in 2000, and that's it. They have a lot of masses that happen here. If there's a red sign out front, while Tracy, yes, TikTok does take a large portion of it, it does help get you more attention to grow your community. So I don't write off the gifts at all, but I do have people who prefer to Venmo me and do whatever. I have all that information, and it's never expected. I do this as it's a joy to do. So if there is a red sign out front, that means they're having mass. You cannot enter. They have like an 8 o'clock mass and a 12 o'clock mass every day. This is Thank you, Christy, for subscribing. Yes, behave.
Is that a spot for what?
Oh, yes, they make a ton. But they've created a community that I could not have created any other way. So I'm grateful. So let's address all the chatter going on in this live currently. As soon as we get out.
Got it.
Thank you so much. Got it.
Watch out for your lens to fall out of there, baby. Okay, show me one trick. I'm not sure they really want you to do that trick, so.
Hey, you know what? Every little kid does it if you grow up here. Not that I ever did that as a kid, but you know.
Care if I come back tomorrow morning at like 7:30?
No, I think you should definitely bring Edgar with you when you come.
Bring him.
He likes the acoustic.
That's what the guy said you guys know.
So it was built in the late 1800s, caught fire in 1898, then got reopened 1900, went through a revitalization in 2000. Holy water. So yes, does TikTok have its flaws? 100% it does. But there is no other platform out there that I could have built the community that I have built, where a 44-year-old single mom whose daughter's in college started walking, lost 90 pounds, and I have over 14,000 people follow my page every day. There's no other network out there that would have allowed for that. And there's really nowhere else I could have done a live every day from. So while yes, TikTok has its flaws, yes, TikTok takes a portion of the subscription that when y'all subscribe, I have always said, and if you haven't followed me long, I always say I will do everything ethically, even when no one else is. Like, I could have very well opened up when all the people around me with 1,000 followers, what's up, Kirky? When TikTok was giving people with only 1,000 followers a subscription star, and I had 13,000, I could have very easily done what I saw some streamers do, where they were like, hey, send me Venmo for $5.99 and you'll be a subscriber. I'm not. I'm always going to take the straight path in anything I do. So and I respect that, Tracy, but again, this is the manner in which, and I always say that when you give a gift, I'm very vocal. So if you don't follow me, I talk about that all the time. Yep. You're not getting my, you're so funny. I have had people come up and take pictures. That's kind of fun. But I mean, I'm always going to choose the straight path. I always tell people have asked, and I've been very transparent with the subscription button. Well, Tracy, this is my job, and I have multiple jobs that I do as well. It is. So Tracy, you're presenting yourself as what I call kind of like you come in to stir up what's called drama, which my community is not about. So if it's not something you appreciate or value or what have you, you don't have to watch the live. And I have since day one. I've said it's not about the money. Well, Tracy, that's what you're presenting yourself as right now. Yeah, holding the phone right here. Tell me when you got it. Oh wait, hey, if you're taking a picture, give it about 10 more seconds because there's a trolley going by. It'll be really pretty. Well, Tracy, growing a community in less than 6 months of 14,000 followers from all over the world, there's no other way you could do that. It's okay. The more you grow, the more you know, Heather. All right, everybody get their picture because I'm going to show you another pretty view for your after or your morning picture. See, that's what I love about you guys. I don't really ever have to say much. You will handle the trolls for me, even if you're not a moderator. Oh, thanks. You know, and I've always told you guys, this is about so much more than a gift. That's the Basilica of St. John's. Yeah, we have a basilica, Jamie. It's actually, and to be a basilica, you have to have the Pope ordain it. There's a picture worth 1,000 words right here. Like I've always said, this journey is about so much more. It's not about the lives. It's not about the gifts. It's not about the subscription. It's about me getting healthy. And when I've lost over 95 pounds, well, and Tracy, I've addressed it multiple times. But then it's like you need to let it end and move on. My followers are very aware. I tell them all the time, if you ever come to Back Porch Chat, we talk about it. Yeah. Forerunner, the Pope gave it that title about 2 years ago. And you know, this journey is about so much more. Losing weight is one of them. I tell people I'd go live with 2 people in the live or 202 people. I do. I absolutely do. Aubrey, I'm starting this whole great new thing when I get back from Disney. So I do walking tours. I take you to the top 10 places in Savannah and the historic district, and I tell you true stories of those. Then I go to I'm also going to start doing virtual tours through Zoom. I'm going to give you a list of places in Savannah, or if you grew up here, maybe your dad did, grandpa did, and you want to know more, like you're like, my grandpa would love to go back to the neighborhood he grew up in. This is something I can do. And I'm going to start that when I get back from Disney after next week. Yeah, Kirk, that one's first time she said that, I may have got a little misty-eyed. My eyes kind of got watery. Yeah, if you don't follow Walrus Kirk, do it. He's a Disney person. I learned all I needed to ever learn about streaming from him. So again, this is the first house with real electricity. I love this house. Mr. Hamilton and his art collection. Yeah. Aubrey, please do. If you go up to the top where it says A Day in the Life of Corey, click on that. All right, I'm done. Y'all, I will handle the trolls only for so long, and then they're going to be gone. So, here's the thing. Savannah, I just blocked her and muted her because she and her 19 followers wanted to stir, so we finished the stirring for her so we could move on. Here's the thing, and you guys know, I welcome anybody. I don't care your religious background. I don't care your beliefs. I don't care your ethnicity. I don't really care. Like, all are welcome to this place. That is what I so wholeheartedly believe, and that is what I've built my platform on. And literally, people want to come in here and try to take the joy away. I'll entertain you for a few minutes, and then you're going to be gone. Y'all, the segways would be cool. I think I would bust my derriere up on them. I know, right? You know, it's funny. I watch Kirk's live, and literally, Kirk, you like seldomly have a troll. What in the world is this? I seem to attract them. Yeah, I don't think the Segway, I really think I would just bust my tail on that Segway. What in the world is this? Yeah, we just want happy times, folks. Because this is not weird at all. Like, weird. That's kind of funny. Like, but yeah, look at this view. Where? Stay where? Right here? You want a picture from here? Yeah, that was G. Willikers interesting, wasn't it? It is. It's a beautiful. So if you're on the south side of Atlanta, so if you are below the city, you're going to look at about a 4-hour drive. If you're above the city, you're going to look at about 5 hours. Just depends on what side of the city you're on. It is busy here. Yeah, man, come to Savannah. And if you need someone to show you around, go up to the top, click on my name. My email address is there. All the information you need. Yeah, I don't know. These are oak. Yeah, please do. I'm going to start doing virtual tours too. So definitely, if you can't get here but you want to see some things, let me know. Yeah, it's south from Atlanta. For what? Oh, if you're moving here? Is that what you're asking me? If you're moving here, I tell people to rent. Savannah's so diverse and complex. And so if you don't know the area, you could get stuck in the wrong area. I don't know. I always call them oak trees. I don't know what kind. Here's a picture. Worth 1,000 words. But anyway, on that note, guys, I've got to go to Target. I've got to go back to my real life. I got to get a job somewhere, as the trolls like to tell me. But check out all my information in my link tree. Follow all the things. I do post our daily lives in their entirety unedited because I'm not fancy on YouTube. So that way, if you miss a walk or you want to go back and watch a walk, you can. Yeah, gotta get some shopping going on in the Target. So you guys have a fantastic day. DoorDash, not as much anymore. I will say this, especially now that I've started selling merchandise, has really started to occupy the full day. My goal is, once I get some good chargers, I'm going to start streaming live as long as I can each day. Can you go? Let me charge my phone, and maybe I'll go back live once I get to Target. Because I do know you guys love the Target. So, as you go, woo! Anyway, a lot of you asked too, what is a gimbal? Oh my gosh, this man is making me so nervous on the Segway. He's going to be about 70 years old. He's making me super nervous. This is a gimbal. So this is the phone stabilizer. Look, Amy, I've had people offer. I got fuel rods sitting right here. They just dead as a darn doornail. And I got to get them recharged. We have one fuel rod station here in Savannah across the river. And I've tried to go twice. And both times the machine's been empty because they haven't serviced it. Oh, gosh. Y'all, that woman, y'all know that she drives me bat crazy. I've tried. They won't charge. I've tried to plug them in at home to get them to charge, and they won't charge. You can, yeah, Savannah, you can. I actually went to Tybee yesterday. It's on my YouTube. So if you've never checked that out. Oh, Denise, thank you. You're so kind. You're hysterical. All right, guys. With that, I will catch you later. Y'all have a fantastic day. And remember to spread positivity. Whether that's you're walking through your work, smile at somebody. Say hello. You may be the only person that smiles at somebody all day long. So literally remember to smile to somebody and say hello. It could change the trajectory of their entire day. So have a great day. See you guys tonight about 5:30 on Back Porch Chat.